We're welcoming Davis Riley here to the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. Davis, welcome, making third start. Want to start with some opening comments, what it's like to be back at this course and tournament.
Yeah, no, it's super special to be here. This is, ever since I played it my rookie year, it was one of my favorite stops on tour, and obviously with it being a signature event and such an elite field, and obviously getting the win 2 weeks ago in Fort Worth and adding this to the schedule is pretty special.
Challenging course, just as it was where you won at Charles Schwab. What is it that you like with courses that maybe present more of a challenge to navigate?
Yeah, no, I like this place a lot. I had a pretty good showing my first year. I think I finished top 15. But, yeah, it's just a ball-striking golf course. You've got to hit a lot of fairways, a lot of greens. And similar to Colonial, it's you got to drive it in the fairway. And fairways and greens are going to be the premium just because when you get in this rough, it's so thick. And it can be very tricky around and, just off the fairway. So definitely a ball striking premium.
Since we last saw you, captured your second PGA Tour victory. What did you do to celebrate?
Yeah, the festivities went well into Sunday night. It was so awesome. Had so many friends there and family and stuff like that. It was a picture perfect week, and it was got to enjoy it, for a couple days, and then got back to work and was just itching to get here.
Any celebrations stick out in particular? Anyone reached out to congratulate the win? Yeah,
some fellow tour players. Mac Jones, former quarterback for Alabama, has been at the Patriots, and a couple cool guys. That was really cool. Some Bama 11 there for sure, and obviously Coach Seal and some other guys. So it was nice to hear from them and show their support. And it was a fun time.
Have you been able to get a milkshake from Coach Sewell?
I haven't. He texted me after the tournament. He just said milkshake time. So luckily we're at a pretty good place for milkshake. So might carry it a little into this week.
Have you been able to see your parents and sister?
I have not actually. As you guys know, unfortunately they weren't able to be there. But a lot of FaceTime calls, and my sister's doing really well, which has been nice. And no, haven't got to see them in person yet, but obviously looking forward to that whenever, hopefully in the near future.
I'll have a few more, but I have MK with some.
As you know, at this tournament, the winner at 18 walks off and shakes Mr. Nicklaus's hand. Can you just kind of try and describe what that moment would be like for you if you were to win?
Of course. I mean, you grew up watching this golf tournament, Tiger Woods, all those kind of guys that walk off that 18 green and shake Mr. Nicklaus's hand. No, but it's something we dream about and something that you've seen many times. And, obviously just to have the opportunity is super special. But, no, it'd be incredible to, one of the legends of the game to walk off the green and shake his hand and then take home the trophy it'd be an amazing feeling.
And then what is the mentality like winning a tour event? Obviously you did it as a team member, but doing it as a solo, I would imagine you got a lot more confidence knowing that you could do it by yourself. Yeah,
for sure. Obviously it was special getting that first one with Nick, but obviously it's kind of a different animal trying to get that first one on your own. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of emotions, and it's tough, especially a place around Colonial. It's a super tough golf course. It's just a mental test as it is physical because it's so hard, crunching so many numbers because it's not a golf course where you're just hitting the fairway and firing at the pin. You're having to, take into account all these different variables, wind and all that stuff. So it was definitely a mental test, and it was a super exhausting week. And but to get it done by myself was, gave me a lot of confidence going forward.
And you held off world number one, Scotty Scheffler, in the process. So what was that? If you could get through the tournament and look back and say to yourself one thing of advice during the week, what would you tell yourself?
Yeah, going into the weekend, and I know Scotty didn't get off to the best start that week, but it's kind of in the back of your head. You always know he's going to wind up there on Sunday somehow. And luckily I had a couple shot cushion, but I don't think any shot lead is comfortable enough when you got the number one player in the world breathing down your neck. So I knew, honestly, I just tried to treat it like we were tied at the beginning of the day, and I just tried to win the day. And I feel like I was pretty into what I was doing, and I really wasn't conscious of what he was doing. I knew where I stood, obviously, but I just tried to get lost in my own process and get really comfortable out there and really get into what I was doing and just trying to execute the shot at hand to the best of my ability.
And then is it refreshing knowing that you have a little bit more control, flexibility with your schedule now that you've won and you have so many less week-to-week grind, more what you want to take on?
For sure. Obviously, adding this event and the Travelers to the schedule is super special, and obviously a couple of the majors next year and going back to Maui, all the things that come with winning are super exciting. And, yeah, like you said, when you're not in the position to be in the signature events, your kind of schedule's made for you, and you have to kind of play when you can. And it's a tough spot to be in because obviously there's less points at stake and all these things. And, you're kind of – we're getting towards the end of the season. The stress levels are starting to get up. You can kind of see it, just trying to make a push for the playoffs. And but yeah, having the flexibility to kind of pick and choose where I want to play and kind of conserve energy where I want throughout the rest of the season, I think will be huge.
What do you think of Jack's course, and have you played it before?
I have, yeah. This is my third year playing. It's an amazing golf course. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites all year. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's just a ball striking golf course, very long rough, just off the fairways and around the green. So I think the winner this week, or the guys that are going to be contending, are guys who are ball striking it really well and hitting a lot of greens. Because if you do, you can kind of get in some proper quadrants and have some good looks at birdies. And and pars are pretty good around here because it's usually this place, and what I remember about it, it tends to get pretty baked out and firmer throughout the week. If the weather allows it, and so it's just kind of it becomes a grind on the weekend.
Have you met Mr. Nicklaus before? If so, what's the conversations been like?
I did. I met him my first year. I just went up and introduced myself and said, "Hey, Mr. Nicklaus, how you doing? I just wanted to introduce myself." And he had very kind things to say, and honestly, I was pretty starstruck, and it was pretty cool. I just wanted to shake his hand and thanks for having me, and tell him how beautiful Muirfield is.
Davis, have you had a chance to see number 16?
I haven't. I've played the front nine yesterday, and I'm going on the back nine this afternoon, so that'll be my first look at it.
What do you like about this tournament? What do you like about this event? What's kind of the cool part about this whole thing?
Yeah, just the history behind it. I watched some of the guys I've looked up to my whole life, like we were saying earlier, walk off that 18 green and shake Mr. Nicklaus's hand. And that finish, 16, 17, 18 is one of the more, iconic stretches and finishing holes in all of golf. And, yeah, I've grown up watching this tournament ever since I was little and, aspiring to be out here like I am now. And it's pretty surreal. Sometimes I have to pinch myself and realize where I'm at and how special it is. So, it's one of my favorite weeks all year.
Then I did have one question sent from a media member. They were asking about, originally you signed up for the Open qualifying, but what kind of went into the decision to just go straight to this week?
Yeah, I after, Fort Worth, long, grueling week, getting the win there, I decided to withdraw from Canada just to take a week of rest to get prepared for this. And then obviously I was doing the U.S. Open qualifier in Canada the Monday after, and I just felt like it would be pretty taxing to go all the way up to Canada just for a 36-hole event and then come down here, and especially because I'm not in the Pro-Am, trying to cram all my work in on a Tuesday was kind of the thought process behind it. And there is still a way for me. I don't know exactly what I've got to finish, but there is a way if I have a well enough finish this week to get into next week. So I was just kind of putting my all my eggs in the basket that route. Yeah, I think I know in the back of my head. I know it's got to be a good finish, so I think I might as well just kind of try to get in there and win. But, yeah, I wouldn't say I focus on like, oh, I've got to finish 9th place or, a specific place. I think I just want to get into the tournament and try to have a chance to win, and usually winning takes care of a lot of things. But, yeah, it was just such a fun feeling getting in contention at Fort Worth. You just want to get back there. So I think I'm just going to try to get in the process and try to get myself and create some opportunity and hopefully have a chance, on the weekend.
And final one for me, unless there are any others, kind of touched upon here, but are you someone who sets goals for the season? And if so, how did that kind of change after the win in Fort Worth? For sure, yeah. One of my big goals was to obviously make the Tour Championship, coming pretty close. My rookie year, I made it to Memphis last year, and obviously I didn't get off to the best start, this year. So, I kind of tried to put the pieces together, try to get there. But this certainly was a huge step in that direction. But yeah, that is, to be honest, my number one goal is to get to East Lake, because
all the things that comes with that, and obviously having a chance to win the FedEx Cup at the end of the season would be pretty cool. And all the guys that have won that, it would be pretty cool to etch my name next to those guys.
Perfect. That's all we have. Thank you, Davis.
Thank you.